Hello and welcome to my ongoing series, Roblox Myths Explained. In this series, I talk about various different Roblox myths and everything you need to know about them. In today's episode, I'll be talking about Lucadia. As always, make sure to hit the like button and to subscribe to the channel so that you are certified cool. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Lucadia is a Roblox myth that is best known for their games Playdate and Our Town. They also gained popularity due to videos of him being made by various Roblox YouTubers. Lucadia's myth is rich with lore, which makes it worthy of checking out. His account is one of the oldest for a Roblox myth, having joined back in 2008. Of course, we will get into this later. Lucadia's story dates all the way back to September 19th, 2008, so over 12 years ago. This makes him one of the oldest myths in the community since he joined in the late 2000s. The following day, Lucadia would create their first game, Playdate. Along with the myth itself, Playdate is one of the oldest Roblox myth games to exist. We will get more into detail about the game later. Not a lot happened to Lucadia's myth until late 2019. In mid-October, Lucadia created their second game, which is known as Our Town. Throughout 2020 and 2021, lots of different Roblox YouTubers would begin making videos talking about Lucadia and his myth. This allowed Lucadia to gain traction within the Roblox myth community. That was especially the case in late 2021 and early 2022, where lots of Roblox users made videos comparing him to Error45229. However, apart from updating Our Town in late 2021, not a lot has happened to the myth. As of this video going out, Lucadia was last online on January 21st, 2022. Expect this to possibly change in the future. There is some lore that one should know about Lucadia. Lore is just the story behind the account, which is essential for creating a successful Roblox myth. So, Lucadia's story goes like this. Lucadia lives in a floating town up in the sky. His friend is someone that he wants to spend a lot of time with. One day, he woke up and then went to his friend's house. However, when Lucadia arrived, his friend stated that the two were no longer friends. Understandably, this made Lucadia sad, which likely explains the frown seen in his avatar. Following this, a person named Malidia told Lucadia that there was a place called Real Life. It is believed he went there due to a screenshot that exists on Lucadia's Twitter page. If you wanted to find out what Lucadia's backstory was, now you know. It becomes a lot clearer when you play the associated games. In regards to Lucadia's appearance, his avatar currently consists of a red head, a black torso and legs, the no default closing pants, the anguished face, and a winged monster hat. In my opinion, this avatar is pretty cute and simple. There isn't a lot of clothing, but that's okay. Appearance isn't the biggest factor when creating a Roblox myth. One thing I will say is that in early 2022, people were saying that Lucadia's avatar looks similar to that of Error45229. To be honest, the two myths' avatars do look pretty similar, mainly due to the winged monster hat and red skin tone. Apart from that, the two myths have completely different avatars. Overall, I give Lucadia's avatar an 8 out of 10 for looking decent while still being simple. As for Lucadia's personality, he is said to talk loudly to himself and care a lot about his friend. Lucadia is also known to be very informative, which likely means he frequently talks about important topics. Surprisingly, he's pretty happy despite the fact that his friend ended their friendship. However, there is also a bad side to Lucadia's character. He is known to have random outbursts, which cause him to become violent and speak different languages, mainly Japanese. Lucadia isn't normally aware of these outbursts apart from them existing. Make what you will of Lucadia's character, but one thing's for sure, it gives him a lot of personality. At the time of recording this, Lucadia has two games, Playdate and Our Town. The most popular of the two is Playdate, with over 40,000 place visits at the time of writing this. The game, as mentioned earlier, was created on September 20th, 2008, and was last updated on December 11th, 2021. What is interesting is that the description simply reads, "Visit your friend." Who knows what that could mean? Since I can, I'll be talking about what can be found in-game. So, you spawn in a pretty small house with a bed, a table, and a lamp. When you approach the door, some text appears at the bottom of the screen as well as text-to-speech being played. Once this has passed, the player will be able to exit the house and walk around the island. There is a note inside the house that reads, "Visit your friend." Walking into the tree next to your home will reveal the objective, which is to visit your friend. A bridge will then spawn, connecting to a new island. This said island contains a pond, a few bushes, a tree, and a bench. You can sit on the bench, which will trigger another spoken line. After this, yet another island will spawn. This island is the one that contains the friend's house. Walking up to the house will grant you a badge whose name translates to friends. However, the friend doesn't turn around or acknowledge the player. After this, the game fades into a black screen. While this is happening, a loud noise starts to play with text that, when decoded, says, "I'm not your friend anymore." In my opinion, this game is actually very well made. The text-to-speech does sound a bit weird, but it's not that important to the overall game. Considering that the game was made in 2008, I'm actually interested in what the first version of the game looked like. If Lucadia ever goes back online and releases the first version of the game, that'd actually be pretty dope. Basically, I recommend playing Playdate. I would talk about Our Town, but I don't feel like it and don't want this section to get too long. There are a couple theories about Lucadia that one can find. Theories are just ideas that are made to explain things that have no clear explanation. Just remember, these are theories, which means they haven't been confirmed to be true or false. The first theory is that Lucadia is a part of some kind of TV show or video game. The first piece of evidence to back this theory up is that throughout the game, Lucadia narrates whatever task he must complete to nobody. The second piece of evidence is that there is a post on Lucadia's Twitter that contains a screenshot of a TV, which is playing the ending to Playdate. On the bottom of the photo, there is a caption that reads, "What was that?" This suggests that Lucadia was either being watched or controlled by someone else. The third and final piece of evidence is that according to the myth's lore, Malledia told Lucadia about a place called Real Life. This is believed to be life outside of the world developed in his games. The second theory states that after his friendship ended, Lucadia had an outburst and almost killed his former best friend. The first piece of evidence is that when Lucadia's friend said, "I'm not your friend anymore," he very likely meant it. Along with this, the second piece of evidence is that Lucadia is known to have outbursts, which possibly happened following the end of the relationship. This is further supported by the appearance of Japanese text in Playdate. The third and final piece of evidence is that Lucadia's friend is one of the people from the town that are missing. It isn't explicitly said what happened to the friend, but there's a chance Lucadia had something to do with it. The third and final theory states that the trapdoor seen in Playdate and Our Town leads to what is called real life. The first piece of evidence is that, as mentioned before, Malledia told Lucadia about a place called Real Life. For the second and final piece of evidence, there is a trapdoor that can be found in Malledia's store. It is believed that this is where the real life dimension can be accessed. Something to remember is that these are just theories, which means they aren't confirmed to be canon. Therefore, take them with a grain of salt. Considering how developed Lucadia's myth is, there are several relationships that play a key role in the story. The first relationship Lucadia has is with his friend. The two were best friends until the latter ended the friendship in Playdate. What's interesting is that in Our Town, the friend left a note for Lucadia. One similarity between Lucadia and friend is that they have the same appearance apart from the skin color. However, the real name of the friend is unknown. The second relationship that Lucadia has is with Malledia. The main connection that the two have is that the latter told Lucadia about the dimension known as real life. It is unconfirmed what exactly real life is though. One can assume that Malledia and Lucadia are acquaintances. Malledia also owns a store that contains a trapdoor which hasn't been opened. The third and final relationship that Lucadia has is with someone known as Casperdia. While writing the script for this video, I realized that every character's name ends with Dia. Anyway, Casperdia is the mailman of the town where Lucadia, Maledia, and Friend all live. He's one of the people that are considered missing within the town. Nothing else is known about Casperdia. As one might know, trivia is just extra facts that are relevant enough to make it onto the video. So, let's get into it. The first piece of trivia is that both Mr. Flimflam and Joker Kid 5898 are on Lucadia's friends list. Even though it's a bit of a stretch, this does imply that Flamingo and Kid and Fumblebottom may have checked out Lucadia's myth in the past. This is unconfirmed, however. The second piece of trivia is that Lucadia owns an inactive Discord account. He has Discord but barely uses it. Therefore, it's advised not to add Lucadia. The third piece of trivia is that there are multiple characters in the myth, which are the store owner and mailman. If you haven't caught on to it, these people are Maledia and Casperdia. Anyway, the fourth and final piece of trivia is that Lucadia and his friends bought the winged monster head at the same time. This further shows the strength of their relationships with each other. This also shows that the accounts were being run simultaneously. Even though there wasn't that much trivia, I still felt like talking about it. To wrap this all up, Lucadia is a Roblox myth best known for his games, as well as being covered by many Roblox YouTubers. His myth is full of lore, which means that there are a lot of things to discover. Lucadia's story dates all the way back to September of 2008, which makes him one of the oldest myths in existence. His lore talks about a friendship that came to an end, as well as a dimension that he possibly went to. Lucadia's avatar is very simple yet looks good at the same time. He also has a pretty decent personality, having both a good side and a bad side. Lucadia's games are very well made and depict the myth's story pretty well. Several theories exist to help explain more confusing parts of the lore, some of which are actually pretty plausible. To be honest, Lucadia's myth is a very good one and is deserving of the attention that it gets. Although the inactivity makes it a bit hard for new updates to come out, everything that is currently present is enough for new players to become invested in the story. With all of this being said, Lucadia will forever be a famous Roblox myth, and that's everything.